been running for the last 20 years. Years that have seen disco come and go, acid house come and go, and now see house firmly installed as the music of choice. You want me to give you a lowdown on the layout? Well, it goes like this. The club has 3 rooms, 4 bars, a bunch of decks, and 1,500 clubbers going mental on the dance floor. So let's get in there and see what Ireland has to offer. I'm joined here by the 2 Scullion boys, Miles and Brian. Your family actually bought this club.
It was in 1969 and we became the first disco ever in Northern Ireland, named Dudmo's Disco. Basically, I think I came on the board first, and the guys really was to keep up with the trend, and that involved going to places like London. We always found we were about 3 years behind London. We tried to get beyond that and catch up with London on a constant basis, bringing in the first laser, the first moving light show. That was more my guys. When Miles came on board, his guys really was to change the music.
The main room on Saturday nights, residents Mark Wesley, and we bring international and UK guests over, and we have a back room which the main room is actually sort of pumping house, bit of Euro trance, that sort of thing, and the back room we play a bit more funky stuff. Norman Jay's in there tonight playing some funky garage, that sort of thing.
Do you think it's important to bring guest DJs over from overseas?
Yeah, I think it's very important because, I mean, you don't want to do the same thing week in, week out. That's why we do nights like Money Pennies, Renaissance, etc. to change the look of the club, change the feel of the club, give the punter back something.
Tell me about the nights that you do during the week.
We do Wednesday night, which is dance night with residents Mark Wesley, Mandy Reid. It's more student-based type thing. And Friday night we do a commercial night, and then Saturday nights we go back to house and dance music with Mark and guests. Mark
actually DJs on Cool FM.
We're actually sponsoring Mark's new show called Club Collision, which goes out. It's an all-night Saturday show, 12 to 6. It's the first all-night dance show in Northern Ireland, and we're sponsoring that in association with the Coach. And it's going to be tapes of our guest DJs, 2-hour mixes, that sort of thing. So it's a good tie-up.
We actually get a lot of requests as well, you know, from the clubbers for Mark Wesley to end most DJ nights. They actually like him to be there at the end of the night because he's such a good resident.
The scene over here has really taken off over the past 2 years. Why do you think that is?
Well, I think there's always been a good scene over here, but just recently it's getting more press in English magazines, TV covers like yourselves, and I think it's just become more. I think England's more aware of the scene over here now, but there's always been a great scene here.
I also think that the Troubles in Northern Ireland have actually played a part, because a lot of people outside Northern Ireland didn't actually believe that Northern Ireland people went out because of the Troubles. They thought everyone sat in. But the young people here actually love to party, and it doesn't really affect 99% of the population. So they actually want to get out and party hard, and they've been doing it for a long time now. I think at the minute the club is actually, as I said before, up to date with the rest of the UK now, and I think our personal aim is to stay there, stay on top of things and stay ahead, and we'll be keeping check on what the rest of the UK is doing through the magazines, through the nightclubs and through the actual TV programmes, and we certainly don't want to slip back. We want to give our crowd the best we can. We feel they deserve the best that the rest of the UK gets.
I'm here at the Coach with the resident, Mark Wesley. How long have you been the resident here?
This is where we start in tricky questions, trying to find out what age. About 10 years.
Yeah?
Yeah. Actually, I remember standing, sort of having a drink at the bar, and the DJ that was here at the time, Robin, came out of the DJ box, walked over to the bar, and at that stage I grabbed him and said, "Are there any jobs going here?" That was how it started. I enjoy being a resident because I see it as a bigger challenge. To a certain degree, it's hard from a guest DJ's point of view to come in and get it right by having the right music with him. But I think a resident's job's slightly harder because you have to know your crowd. And if the DJ you bring over doesn't necessarily have the right music, you're always there at the end of the night to lift it, blow the place away. I always believe that if people are on a dance floor, you're doing your job right. I've always thought that. But I mean, I've seen a lot of trends coming and going, musical styles, from I see way back, and you know, faces come and go, trends come and go. But for the last 3-4 years, we've had a fairly reliable crowd that just love their music, and that's what it's all about.
You actually DJ on Island's Cool FM as well, don't you?
Yeah, I've been with the station from its went on air 1991, and I've always tried to introduce dance music as a sort. But you're talking to 50-year-old men running a radio station. That how are they ever in a million years supposed to know what 18 to 35-year-olds or 30-year-olds like?
Is that why you're wanting to set up your own station?
Eventually, I would love to do that. Yeah, I just don't think I've taken it as far as I can take it at the moment. The show is doing really well. The figures for it are excellent, but there's not enough of it on the radio.
Do you ever get any feedback from people that have listened to the show and then they've come down on a Saturday?
Sometimes you get too much feedback from them. You've got to be nice all the time, and sometimes it can get a bit intrusive. You could be standing having a conversation and someone just comes right up in the midst of your conversation, blah, 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 play that later, and gives you a list of tunes, and you go, all right, I'll remember that, and try to get back to your conversation.
You've actually DJ'd over in England. How does it compare to over here?
I suppose initially the age difference would be the first thing that springs to mind. Clubbers in England tend to be on average of around 4 or 5 years older. But over here it's a good sign that people are getting into the music young. Hopefully what will happen is we'll cultivate them along the line. Maybe 6 years' time they'll be experienced clubbers and still coming. I think it must be the only one of the very few occupations that when you reach a certain age and you've came to the end of it, you can look back on your life and what you've done, and I suppose take pride in the fact you've given so many people a good night out at the weekend.
I'm from Lisburn.
Lisburn.
I'm Gemma. Curry.
What do you like about clubbing?
It's just to get out and let yourself go, you know, after, you know, the week's work and all, and just go out and go mad. It's brilliant.
Are you locals now to this club then?
Yeah, we come. No, we're not. No.
I've been here for about 10 years, and it's like I've seen so much over the years, but the last year or so it's got really, really good.
Have you not been home yet?
I'm Bradley from Belfast.
Yeah?
And I'm Keith from Portadown.
The thing that really lets clubs down Northern Ireland is the time to close at 2 o'clock in the morning. You really need a late license to go on a bit longer. That's the biggest problem in Northern Ireland.
If you won the lottery, what would you do?
Buy Ibiza and live there all year round. Keep it open.
What do you like about it?
The DJs, the atmospheres, bouncers, everybody's just brilliant.
You can't describe how brilliant it is. Like, it's going off big time.
I love it. The atmosphere's brilliant.
That's a cracker.
Which DJ do you rate?
Like Mark Wesley.
I think it plays all the big tunes, you know.
Brilliant. Mark Wesley is excellent. Best DJ going, like.
Save Fontaine,
Judge
Paul
Jules.
Oakenfold, Armand Van Halen.
Judge Jules. Judge Jules. No, he's lovely looking. Caroline Graham loves him. So she loves him. Pretty sexy.
What's your name, honey?
Caroline Graham.
What's made tonight so good for you?
The music, definitely. We're completely pissed.
I thought the Irish were mad, but the English are blinking mental.
And there's only something.
Helter Skelter's mental.
Everybody's afraid of door waving. Brilliant night. Great night. Absolutely. Best night in ages. Brilliant at the coach.
What goes on a Wednesday?
Wednesday's brilliant. Brilliant.
What do you think is going to be the big track in Ibiza this year?
ATB 9 p.m. till I come.
Yeah.
No Man's Land. Till I come. Tell you the truth, I'd love to meet Paul Van Dyke.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's coming here in June, I think, and I can't wait. I can't really. Oh God, he's gorgeous looking. I can't wait till he comes. I haven't been here in ages, and this is the best night in ages. So it is. It's brilliant.
Actually, well, we used to be in like happy hardcore actually about a year ago. We were over at Helter Skelter and Resurrection and stuff. So
Where else do you go?
Go to Belfast, go to Paradise Lost, or else go down to Manhattan.
Passion in Leicester is where I go when I'm in England. Yeah, and it's a good club, you know.
Bangor, Bim.
Is that good?
Yeah, it's good.
Where are you going after here?
So we'll have to play down in the Parliament in Belfast.
Well, what's your favourite track at the moment?
Saltwater. To my house, back to my house for a party. Bob and all are going. All these people.
Good night.
You must have a pretty big house then.
Yeah, big massive house. And house, bro.
Hi, I'm Mark Wesley, resident at the Coach here in Banbridge, and you're watching Clubavision.
here by the very lovely Alex Gold. You actually started DJing in the early 80s, so what was it like back then?
Well, it's the same vibe really, just progression. I was in those days playing soul and hip hop and funk, and discovered the house scene in the mid 80s with the Chicago sound really, about 85, 86 time. And we ran the first acid house club in West London, actually, the Devil May Care, which was at Brunel University, way before there were any nights happening, actually. Or at that time, there were about 2 or 3 other nights happening in London, like Sherman, Enter the Dragon, and it's all gone on from there, really.
Do you ever think you'll get back into the promoting side of it?
I think maybe as a record company, we may, as Extravaganza, we may, we're out on the road and we're promoting nights across the country, and we may get back into doing a residency again, perhaps in London, the cosmopolitan city of the world, so they say, or maybe one of the northern cities, who knows.
Do you like to travel around and play at different clubs?
Yeah, I like that, because it's kind of you get a variety of different, sort of atmospheres and stuff, and I like to play across the board as well, right through from sort of disco, garage, through to pumping, Euro and trance, and again, that Balearic thing. I think that Northern Ireland has influenced my career massively, as well as Ibiza. It's a similar sort of vibe. It's very free, it's very easy, very loose, and it's good to be back here again.
Last year you won the bidding war for the track El Nino. What do you think is going to do it this year?
It will have to be Every Day by the same artist, Agnelli and Nelson. And also there's a new project from Chicane, which is planned for August on that sort of disco, pasha, sexy vibe.
You made your name out in Ibiza originally. Are you going back out there again this summer?
Absolutely. On the 26th of June I'll be at Eden with Robbie Agnelli Nelson, and we're doing 4 hours each, so a night of complete Authentico Ibiza, as it should be done. Long sets and proper from disco through to trance and back again, totally Balearic and original. On the 23rd of July, of course, the Clubavision Extravaganza, the big night of the year. Chicane live for 45 minutes, and Alex P, Brandon Blanc, myself, and again Robbie Agnelli Nelson. So again, another night of Authentico Ibiza.
Going back to the word cosmopolitan, that's often a word that's linked with the Extravaganza records. Why is that?
Well, because I truly believe that we should make music for people of all ages and groups to dance to. It's cosmopolitan dance music of all genres. Whether that's disco, garage, groove, or even down tempo sometimes. If it's cool, it works. And I think that there's far too much a stigma these days. So many DJs saying, "Oh, I only play this and I only play that," and I think it's important to cross the boundaries and rock a crowd. Brings me around to the next point. I think it's important really for DJs to play longer sets, and I think these days it's all crammed in to too short a time, which I think is a shame, really. I mean, the first half an hour is filling your way always, even if you're up for it. You need half an hour to settle in, and then if you're really a good DJ and you know how to take a crowd on, I think you need another 2.5 hours after that. I mean, this summer in Ibiza, all the sets I'm doing are at least 3 hours, and I made sure about that. We're not working with other promoters, we're doing it ourselves.
You've got quite a good business head on you. So do you think you'll ever leave the DJing and go more into that?
I think as long as I can realistically go to nightclubs and play records, I certainly will. I love it, it's part of my life, it's where I come from, and I think that a lot of people that are successful in the record industry forget that.
You had quite a lot of success with Chicane as well. How did you meet up with Nick?
I've known Nick for years, and he lived locally where I was living, and one day we sat in a studio and listened to Offshore as an ambient record, and I said to him, put a house group behind that, and that's a smash for sure. Anyway, I didn't hear anything for like the next 3 months, and all of a sudden the white label appeared, and then there was a massive scramble amongst all the labels, to sign it, and thank God we came out winning, and the rest is history, really. 8 top 40 hits later, and now a top 10, which, after 14 years of being in A&R, is my first top 10. I've had a number of top 40 hit records, about 40 to be precise, but that's the first top 10, so may there be more.
What other tracks will you be releasing on your label?
Well, we've got Black Connection on the disco flavour, again back this summer with Taka Boom on vocal, fantastic slamming disco, filling in the other side of the label. And last but not least, Balearic Bill, the big anthem of the summer, Watch It Go, that's going to be a top 10.
Yeah. I hear you're a bit of a wine connoisseur.
Well, I like a bit of French.